James sent me a challenge this morning and asked me if we could make something for him in disruptive patterns. And I decided that we'll give it a shot. We might as well make a video of it to show how we do it. So James asked, can we make a rounded fender flare section for here on a vehicle that doesn't have fender flares? This is on an F350. And the question was, can we get a piece of PPF that rides from the inner wheel well up to around the body line that's there, around that hard body line? But there's no solid area there like a fender flare or something. Can we kind of make a PPF one? So I had an idea. I figured we'd give it a shot and test through here. I'm going to go through it on this fender, what I would do. And then we're going to go through it really fast on the back fender and just kind of show you a way that I came up with. And then if you've got a better way to do it, I would love to see it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get a measurement of how far we need to go. James sent me a measurement at 5.5 inches. So 5.5 inches for the front, 6 inches for the back. So we're going to make this rectangle. Just draw it. You can draw it anywhere. We're going to select the width up here, and we're going to change this to 5.5 inches. All right, now it's going to be the height we need. And this is going to be our visual reference. So I'm going to put it right here at the top of this fender here to give me a good visual. Then first, I wanted to look at making this fender bigger, but it's a little bit harder to make a fender bigger versus if we make an oval. Like, this is a pretty good curve here. So let's see if we can make some type of ellipse. When you're making a circle here, you could basically see that your circle is going to start at the top line and the side line. So where you click to drag isn't necessarily where the circle is going to start. I know that I want the circle to start at the top of this, but I want it to go, the curve is going to meet on the vertical part right about here. So I'm going to click and drag and see if we can make an oval that's going to fit. And you have to eyeball this. And so right now, this isn't the right curve for it. So I'm going to go a hair wider with it and see if I can get a decent visual match there. That looks pretty close. Let's see how that does. Move it away, slide it up in there. That's pretty close for this. And you might be able to make it a little bit longer. Let's say we go with like 33. Will that match that a little bit better? Pull it down, pull it back up. A little bit. You can always play with this some. Maybe 32. Ah, there we go. Let's stick with 32. Make that work. That's going to be our close, right? So now I want to make a bigger version of this, right? A way that I like to do this is through proportional scaling, but through a better tool than what we have right here. I like to use math to make this work. So what I'll do is I'll copy paste. I'll put a second one over it. I don't like to ever destroy my reference, so I'll make a second one. We'll put it over. Let's say we're going to use 20. So we need this to grow 5.5 inches from here to here, but I also want to keep this proportion the same to match this curve. So I'm also going to draw this down to where the bottom goes down 5.5 inches. So in total, we want to grow this 11 inches so we can get 5 inches on top and bottom. And we want to get our width changed too, and I'll show you how I do that. So if we say, we're going to just round this to 20. If we say 20 plus 11 is 31, right? That's going to give us the height that we want, but it's not going to match that curve anymore, right? So what we're also going to do is we're going to do some proportional math here for us, right? We had part over the whole. We had 11 divided is what we added, divided by what it was, 20, means we've got a 55% growth right here. So we're going to grow 32 times 1.55 needs to be 49.6. So we're going to come back, select our circle, make this 49.6. And this is going to give us the proportion that we want. Now, centering it up is going to be a little trickier. You got to kind of do this visually. And we would go about here. Oh, wait, no. Here's what we want to do. Up top right here. We want to make sure this goes to the 5.5 inches mark right about here. So let's pull this down a little bit. There we go. And then get it visual left and right. And I think it overhanging both sides is going to be awesome. Because what we'll be able to do with this is now we can double click to go into our nodes and say we want this to, if I think it might be best at this point to let this cover this area here too, because I don't want this to come down. And I normally would have this follow here. And when I did my test, I did it with a smaller measurement here, and I ran it down with this diagonal line right here. But I think we should let it go over the outside is the way I would imagine to do it. So let's say we take these nodes, we delete them. For the sake of this, we grab this node, just pull it way out here. Grab this node, pull it way out here. Oh, we got both of them. Oh, well, that worked. All right, so that will give us our visual reference here. Hit escape to get out of node editing. Now what we want to do is we want to take the overlap from our modified ellipse in this Fender. So we select both of those, and we want to take this section here called intersect. We want to take that intersection and keep that. Now we can take that and we can duplicate it. Just if you want to do it here, you can copy, paste, click next to it. Then we can take this and we can mirror it. And now we've got one for drivers and passenger side. So now I'm going to do that faster. I'm going to show you a time lapse here so you can go through and see a little bit quicker. Let's go do that now. And there we have a front and a rear. If you notice, you might need to try a little bit differently. It looks like this curve is a hair off. That might be something to pay attention to a little bit more. It might fit that body line. When I asked James for the measurement, I made sure to ask for that measurement to go a little bit above that body line, because I would rather the PPF go and protect that body line some. And in order to do it, it'd be nice to have just a little bit extra on the other side of that body line to make sure it's got a good area to stick to. But that would be a starting point. And it may take a little bit of tweaking. You may need to change your lips a little bit, or raise or lower it, or make it a little bit narrower when you get down to that. But that is how I would do it if I had to create something like that. So if you've got a different way you would do it, I'd love to see it. You can tag us in it, post a video in the group, and if it works out, we'll get it posted up and we'll share it with everybody else, man. So thank you.